The sport of MMA is purely the UFC, there have been other organizations for nearly 3 decades, and historically a ton of fighters we know and love come from these other organizations. Today, we're going to be looking at our list of 10 of the best knockouts to have ever occurred outside of the UFC. There's a lot of content we can't fit into these lists, so make sure to mention anything that you think we missed out on. Also, be sure to stick around to the end of the video to see our favorite comments from the last one. Raymond Daniels versus Wilker Barros. Kicking off our list is the flashy striking sensation Raymond Daniels. The Californian represented the US in 3 Waco Irish Open tournaments and a single Waco World Championship tournament, bringing home the gold in each one. Daniels became the Bellator kickboxing welterweight champion in 2017 and made the transition to the Bellator cage in 2019. The real deal's style relied on spinning attacks, much to the approval of the Birmingham crowd. With less than 30 seconds to in the opening round, Daniels sparked his opponent Barros unconscious with what appeared to be a 720 right hook, unlike anything fans had ever seen before. This single moment made Daniels an immediate favorite among fans. MVP versus Douglas Lima. After both picking up wins in their respective round fights, Michael Venom Page and Douglas Lima were set to face off against one another at the semi-finals of the Bellator Welterweight Grand Prix. England's Page had a reputation as a deathly effective striker, and Brazil's Lima was viewed as one of the most talented fighters to ever fight outside of the UFC. Come fight night, Lima had the fight under control. The former welterweight champion used his wrestling to neutralize the striking of Page to comfortably win the first round. MVP's reckless striking style would ultimately be his downfall, as a strong leg kick dropped him only to be KO'd by a brutal right hand from Lima. The Brazilian striker would go on to win the Grand Prix and hold Bellator's gold once more.
And instead of just settling on the floor, I'm like, I'm just going to get back up and carry on fighting. Stood straight back up, and it was a very accurate punch that I walked into, and he's a person that you don't really want to get hit by at the best of times, so yeah, it is what it is.
Cosmo Alessandre versus Sage Northcutt. UFC alumni Sage Northcutt made the transition to ONE Championship, Asia's biggest MMA promotion, back in 2019. The karate specialist's first fight was against fellow elite striker Cosmo Alessandre. While Alessandre wasn't widely known by most outside of the hardcore fans, he was expected to give Northcutt a tough fight for his first debut. However, no one expected the Brazilian to win by KO in just under 30 seconds. Alessandre left Northcutt with several injuries, which have left him inactive. The Texan stated that he was left with 8 facial fractures and was forced to undergo a 9-hour surgery. Thankfully, judging by Sage's social media, he seems to be in good spirits, and we could be expecting a return to action sooner rather than later. MVP versus Cyborg Santos. British striking phenom Michael Page has found himself on both sides of our list. MVP was set to face off with Brazilian stud evangelista Cyborg Santos at UFC 158 in 2016. In early goings of the first round, MVP used his patented unorthodox style to keep Santos at bay. This, however, did not last long enough for the Englishman, as Santos managed to take the fight to the ground. Once the second round came around, Page had made the necessary adjustments and was able to use his reach effectively. When Santos attempted to close the distance, MVP responded with a flying knee, flooring the Brazilian almost immediately. Without knowing how bad the injury was, Page put on a Pokemon hat and threw a Pokeball at his fainted opponent.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause.
The fans later discovered that the knee had cracked Cyborg's skull, which forced him to retire from MMA. Timofey Nastyukhin versus Eddie Alvarez. Multiple organization champion Eddie Alvarez left his home of the UFC after almost 5 years to pursue a career in ONE Championship. He was entered into their lightweight Grand Prix, and in his debut at ONE A New Era, took on Russian powerhouse Timofey Nastyukhin. Alvarez appeared to be remaining tentative in the early portions of the fight, with Nastyukhin pushing the pace. With just over a minute to go in the first round, the Russian connected with a flush left hook, stunning the former UFC and Bellator champion. Nastyukhin continued to pressure Alvarez until the fight was called off. Nastyukhin would unfortunately be pulled from his semi-final fight in the Grand Prix and hasn't fought since then. Melvin Manhoef vs Mark Hunt. While most casual MMA viewers may know Mark Hunt as the ironed chin Kiwi with a KO power, the New Zealand native has been knocked out before. At Dynamite 2008, Hunt fell victim to a quick KO at the hands of Surinamese Dutch kickboxer Melvin Manhoef. Manhoef naturally competed as a middleweight, but he stepped in as a late alternate to fight Hunt at heavyweight. However, the size difference wasn't an issue for Manhoef, knocking out the Samoan in only 18 seconds. It was his first time that Hunt had lost via strikes in his professional MMA career, and Manhoef's 21st KO or TKO win. Fedor Emelianenko vs Andrei Arlovski. At Affliction Day of Reckoning in 2008, MMA legend Fedor Emelianenko was scheduled to take on former UFC heavyweight champion Andrei Arlovski. The Belarusian fighter was widely regarded as the second best heavyweight in the world at that time, only behind the last emperor Emelianenko. When the two faced off in the main event, Arlovski had early success, using strikes to pressure the Russian. With just 2 minutes left to go in the fight, Arlovski recklessly threw a flying knee. Fedor timed a right-hand counter flawlessly, dropping the pitbull in midair. This would be the company's last event before their close in 2009. Michael Chandler vs Patricky Pitbull 2. At Bellator 157, then lightweight champion Michael Chandler was pitted together with his rival Patricky Pitbull. While both remained respectful in the pre-fight build-up, the result of their fight would spark a heated rivalry between Chandler and Patricky's younger brother Patricio.
That was a technique knockout. Man, that was Patricio and Michael Chandler going at it.
When the fight began, both men were eager to throw hands and push the pace. Pitbull stuffed a takedown early on, bringing the fight back to the feet. However, this would be Pitbull's downfall. Minutes later, Chandler faked a level change, walking Pitbull onto a vicious right hook. Pitbull hit the deck, and the fight was called off immediately. While Patricky's younger brother Patricio would exact his revenge years later, Chandler's KO still remains one of the best outside of the UFC. Mauro Sorelli vs Carl Moore. UK-based promotion Cage Warriors is most commonly known for breeding future UFC contenders and even champions, but they also have world-class fighters. The English promotion put this on display at Cage Warriors 92. As one of 3 title fights on a stacked card, champion Mauro Sorelli took on Irish powerhouse Carl Moore. Sorelli was riding a hot 4-fight win streak entering the bout, and Moore on a 3-fight win streak himself. The fight began with Moore pushing the pace, throwing fast jabs. Sorelli took advantage of this situation, getting Moore into a corner. A swift left hand from Sorelli left the Irishman stiff on the canvas. The win would get Sorelli signed to one championship, where he is currently 1-2. Nathaniel Wood vs Luca Iovine. The Cage Warriors Bantamweight Championship was on the line in the mark bout of Cage Warriors 92 on March 28, 2018. Competing for the belt in the main event were highly touted champion Nathaniel Wood and Italian prospect Luca Iovine. While Wood was favored to win by the hometown crowd, no one expected Wood to pull off the spectacular knockout that he did. It appears that the challenger was eager to get the finish early, exchanging combos with Wood early on. While breaking away from an exchange with the champ, Iovine was clipped on the end of a looping left hand from Wood. This sent Iovine tumbling to the canvas just 50 seconds into the fight. As of the time of recording this, Wood has extended his win streak to 8 wins, with 3 finishes inside the UFC.
You know, if tomorrow they said to me, you can go in there with TJ Dillashaw, I would take that shot without a doubt on the contract I am now, and I'll be confident that I'm going to win. But, you know, if the UFC said to me, oh, we just want you to fight someone that's ranked 30th, cool. I enjoy this sport. I enjoy doing it. You know, I'll turn up tomorrow and bring my A game. I'll still be training with guys when I retire in this sport. So for me, you know, I love competing, and, you know, I just want to keep enjoying it. And if I can do that on the biggest platform there is in the world, then that's everything for me.
That's just about gonna wrap it up for our list of 10 of the best knockouts outside the UFC. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button down below. Remember, there's a lot of content we can't fit into these videos, so be sure to let us know anything you'd like to see in a future one. We wanted to find a way to interact with you more, so here's our favorite comments from the last video. These next 2 comments are in relation to Anonymous hacking the UFC website. Morelli Tech said Dana actually ended up having the hacker arrested. The hacker was arrested and sent to prison. Dana 1, Internet 0. According to what I could find online while fact checking this, he was arrested for an unrelated case. But still, I couldn't have said it better myself. It's good to see people get punished when they do something like that, especially when leaking someone else's personal information. New Blood said Dana finna fight Anonymous in the cage. I sure hope not. I don't think anyone could beat Dana when he gets this angry. Altazan said, "Thank you for the channel. Consistent, relevant, and high quality content." Thank you so much, man. We put a lot of work into these videos, so it's nice to know that they're appreciated. Peter Griffin said, "The moment he gets furious, his head turns into a tomato." With the beautiful response of Dana Pink from Isaac MKY. And lastly, Mother Algorithm said, "Narrator sounds like a valley girl. Horrible on the ears." Well, I do live in the valley, so you're half right. If you want your comment to be featured in the next video, be sure to comment on this one. Special thanks to Lucas for editing the video and Jake for writing the script. Their links will be down in the description. See you guys.